Well, well, well. Top 10 reasons not to visit Australia. Me personally, I live in Australia. Australia, the land of kangaroos. I love kangaroos. Well, really, that many views. I'm not even going to try and say that. Hashtag minus. Hey everyone, welcome back to our episode. And today we're going to look at top 10 reasons not to visit Australia. Let's take a look at the video. I will leave a link in the description to this video. And so this is the top 10 reasons not to visit Australia reaction video. Alright, let's get into it. Wrong button. Stop it. Spacebar's not working anymore.
Hi everyone. Australia is a beautiful place with incredible nature and nice people. But if you spend a lot of time on the internet, you might have heard that you should never visit this country. Why?
Bullshit.
Well, we're going to try to explain it to you now. So, here are 10 reasons why you shouldn't go to Australia. Let's get it on.
That's easy.
Ocean current.
Ocean current. Ocean current.
Do you prefer a lazy beach vacation or love swimming near the coast and sunbathing? Well, we're sorry to disappoint you.
One thing is, don't go swimming if you don't know how to bloody swim. That's the thing. If you don't know how to swim, don't go swimming. If you're not a strong swimmer, don't swim in the ocean. Go to a swimming pool or something.
But you're not very likely to find a decent beach in Australia.
Bullshit.
Of course, there.
Has anyone ever been to? What's a good beach? Let's have a look. Best beaches in Victoria. I'm in Victoria area. Bondi Beach is a good area. Phillips Island, never been there before. Bondi Beach is a good area apparently. Bells Beach, Victoria. Woodside Beach. Woodside is really good. I've been to Woodside. What else? There's a billion beaches in Australia. That's really good. Bondi Beach is really big for surfing, by the way.
There are beaches there, but the ocean's never calm enough. And this is why Australia...
Bullshit. Have you ever been to Woodside or any beach in Australia? Not all of them are completely strong waves. Sure, you get some big ones, but not all the time.
Australian coasts are perfect for surfing. But suppose you're lucky.
I like waves.
The water's warm, there's almost no waves around, and you're ready to dive in. But suddenly you notice a warning about sharks, or jellyfish, or poisonous fish, or some...
Jellyfish? Jellyfish? Come down to a Victoria area, people. You hardly see any. And you don't go swimming at night.
other underwater animals that would be happy to share some of
By the way, there is sharks around Australia.
their venom with you or have you as a snack. And even if there are no dangerous creatures, there's always the chance you'll get drawn into the ocean by a strong underwater current.
Keep away from the beach if it's got a strong current. The only time it'll be strong current is when it's heavy winds and bad weather.
Of course, there are many beach rescuers around, but anyway, being dragged away from the coast into the ocean is not the best experience
They're never away.
in the world. Cassowary.
What? What's a cassowary? What? What's a cassowary? What the fuck's a cassowary? Why am I mute? What the hell is a cassowary? I've never seen a cassowary in my life. I've seen snakes, I've seen wombats, I've seen koalas. I've never seen a cassowary.
What? Am I supposed to be scared of this?
Yeah, are you meant to be scared of this thing?
Bird, you might ask? You are right, it does look like a weird hybrid between an ostrich and a turkey.
Ostriches! Yeah, I believe they're in Australia. I don't know. Yeah, they are.
And it doesn't exactly
No, we've got emus.
look scary, but in spite of its appearance, this bird is in the Guinness World Records as the most dangerous bird in the world.
Really? Even his face says, really? Really? Sure, this bird might be in Australia, but I've never seen one. And even if you do see one, keep away from them. Jesus Christ.
It has a sharp beak and long, strong claws, but its most important feature is its nasty temper. Everything irritates this bird. Actually, this creature is totally unpredictable because it always attacks first. And that's
How's that unpredictable? Oh my god, I don't know if he's going to attack last or he's going to attack first. I wonder what.
a real problem. The average cassowary's height is about 6.5 feet, and it weighs about 180 pounds. And like if that weren't enough, cassowaries can speed up to 30 miles per hour, jump 5 feet in the air, and they're extremely good at swimming, so it's almost impossible to run away from this angry bird. Snakes.
Yeah, snakes, that's pretty reasonable. I see snakes all the time. Well, you see them a fair bit of it in Australia, but snakes, yeah, they're pretty dangerous. Let's see what they've got to say about this.
We're gonna be straight with you. Most snakes in Australia are venomous.
Yes, a lot of them are venomous. Just keep away from them. Don't mess with them, and they won't mess with you. And only, I don't know, a couple can kill you in Australia. Not all snakes can kill you. Some are venomous, but not all of them. Jesus.
And there are a lot of them, and they're practically everywhere. Fortunately, Australian snakes don't usually attack people, and when they do it in self-defense. But that's no consolation for when you suddenly find a snake in the toilet tank, under your bed, or in the middle of a supermarket. Even if you
Go away and do a YouTube video. Sorry guys, I'll be back in a second. Put the TV on. Sorry. Ugh, fuck's sake.
24/7, you'll scream like crazy if you almost step on a snake. Besides, there's a snake known as a taipan that lives everywhere in Australia, and it's extremely dangerous. A person bitten by a taipan will die in 4 hours before getting to a hospital. Ugh. This snake doesn't like to think twice and tends to attack immediately as soon as it sees an enemy. Therefore, you probably won't have time to Google it up and see how dangerous it actually is. Spiders. If you suffer from arachnophobia, the fear of spiders, you definitely shouldn't go to Australia, because just like
That's pretty reasonable actually. It is fair bit of spiders.
snakes, they are everywhere. You can see them in basements.
Basements. Who in of all Australia, who the fuck has got a basement? I know I haven't. People, there's no World War II or III coming around here. Jesus. No one has basements these days.
Hotels, cafes, parks, beaches, and even in the sink. Obviously not all of them are the size of your palm, although you can find some big ones. However, you should actually be afraid of the small and more venomous spiders. Anyway, each one of these creatures will try to bite you if it feels danger, so keep calm and don't attack it with a mop.
Was that meant to be funny? Ha ha ha, don't tack it with a mop. God, you're an idiot.
Some of them are very good at jumping.
Jumping. Jumping. Jumping. Why?
By the way, don't forget about a phenomenon called raining spiders. It's not a myth, it's really a rain of spiders. It's the way they travel around, using the wind and their webs as parachutes. And believe us, they don't really care where they land.
Really? I have never seen that. Raining spiders.
On a tree or on your head. Sun.
The sun's around the globe, you idiot.
If you're in Australia for the first time, you might think that the sun, along with the spiders,
The sun. Okay, there's a thing about Australia. It's either hot, it's either cold, or if you live somewhere up where New South Wales area, it's either hot, or bloody fucking hot.
snakes and other creatures is trying to
And a tiny bit cold.
kill you. And it does feel like that. Just when the clouds part, it feels like there's a huge radiator in the sky, and the
Bullshit, I live in Australia.
Earth is just a huge grill, even if it was quite cold just a couple of minutes ago. Some people say it's all because of an ozone hole somewhere above the south part of the
Sure it is.
continent, and that makes Australians the most susceptible people to skin cancer. Although
Okay, that's pretty true.
scientists haven't confirmed that yet. Anyway, if your skin is white, you will probably get burnt
Racist?
on the first day of your vacation, so don't forget to use sunscreen and dress properly. Dingo.
A dingo. They're not fucking dogs. Keep away from them. Don't try and pat them. Just keep away from them. Jesus.
We all know that man tamed dogs a very long time ago, so long that we forgot they used to be wild wolves. Maybe the difference between a tamed and a wild animal is not that big, and the example for that would be the dingo. It was tamed some
That is a Tasmanian tiger. Oh my god, these idiots are so stupid they can't tell the difference between a dingo and a fucking Tasmanian tiger. I know that animal because it was on a TV show ages ago. And it just disappeared, I believe, or did it die? I'm not too sure. No, it died. It was the last one too. And then they found a couple of them. Let's continue on.
time ago, but then it returned to its natural habitat. Nowadays, dingoes look like their ancestors, the
That's a fox.
Indonesian wolves, and they're almost impossible to tame. Dingoes use
Impossible to tame. I remember some person come up to our high school with a dingo. They don't abuse them because they will never forget. Just give them silent treatment, and no, they're not impossible to tame.
usually attack livestock. They just go into human territory
They're sleepy type of things. All they do is sleep and sleep and sleep.
and have their lunch right in the enclosure. Now they live across the whole country, and their reputation scares locals.
Sure they do. I've never seen a fucking dingo. I've been to the city. It's not like you see a dingo running through the city, do you?
And tourists alike. We wouldn't say these cute doggos attack people a lot, but still, you have to remember that they're almost wolves, so don't try and pet them. Anyway, some of the smartest
They're beautiful doggies. Well, dingoes. I petted a dingo before. Not in the wild though. No, Jesus Christ, I don't want to get killed.
tourists take the risk and feed the dingoes. We'd like to see them run away screaming and swearing. It must be an amazing show. Fire ants.
Fire ants are not going to kill you. Oh my god. You may as well place blue bottles in there. They're more dangerous than fire ants. Yes, blue bottles are a very venomous type of bloody ant. They bite you, you gotta really rush to hospital.
One of the biggest problems for the people living in Australia is ants. And not some normal ants, but fire ants, which are not very pleasant neighbours. One anthill can contain hundreds of thousands of insects, and if you bother them,
I haven't even seen an anthill before. Not be up Australia, just keep down to Victoria. You're both with snakes and there's plenty of wildlife, kangaroos, all that type of stuff. And Victoria's a nice area run by the Gunai people. Well, yeah, that's the Aboriginal state around here. Gunai people. But yeah.
little bit, they will attack you back. The bite of these venomous ants causes strong allergic reactions, blisters, swelling, and pain shock. So, as you've already guessed, this usually ends really badly, especially for those who are allergic to them. By the way, they appeared on the continent by accident, but then they started reproducing really quickly. Now they live across the whole country, and they get into houses and different devices, which often causes short circuits and fires. Also, many wild and domestic animals suffer because of them. The government's spending millions of dollars to get rid of the fire ants, but unfortunately, the ants are winning.
Sure they are.
Stinging brush.
Stinging brush. Look, all you have to do is not go in the bush, go flapping on all the bloody leaves and stuff. You see something like that, you keep away from it. Don't go out in the bush unless you have someone that's actually local to the area, that knows the area, and knows their plants, what's venomous, what's dangerous, what's healthy, what's bad, and what they know what to do. Don't go out unless you have someone that knows the area and what they're doing.
Do you still feel like you want to go to Australia?
Yes, because all these reasons are bullshit.
Then it's time for you to know that even plants are evil in this country.
We have not got Venus flytraps, have we? Hang on. I'll research it later on.
The evilest one is the stinging brush,
You've already went through this.
also known as gimpy gimpy or...
Wait, is it stinging now? I don't know anymore. Just still, if you're gonna go for the bush, just bring someone that knows the plants and the area. You don't want to get lost in the bush. And another thing, don't go walking on a hot day out in the bush. There'll be plenty of snakes there. Cold days are better.
Plant. It grows in the Australian jungle and it's considered one of the most dangerous plants on Earth. Its sting is one of the most painful. Some of the victims compare the stinging feeling with hot acid being poured on the skin. And you know, we think they're not exaggerating. This horrible plant contains one of the strongest toxins known to man. You can feel the sting for 2 years after the accident. There's also a story about an officer that used a Gimpy's leaf as toilet paper, which led to a fatal outcome. So, if you're in Australia, try to avoid this plant. Alligators.
Crocodiles! Jesus Christ! Like literally. Crocodile Dundee? Crocodiles! He's from Australia. It's crocodiles. Who the fuck in Australia calls crocodiles alligators? That's American bullshit.
Now tell us, what do you know about alligators?
Crocodiles.
Apart from the fact that they're dangerous toothed reptiles, we looked it up.
Keep away from them. That makes a bit of sense.
And we learnt that in the last decades, the population of alligators grew so much in Australia
Crocodiles.
that now they're a real problem for the locals.
Sure they are.
If you think you can escape the danger by staying away from the water, you are wrong. The problem will just come to you. Literally, these huge reptiles are so
Keep away from the nest. Don't go where the crocodiles are. Jesus.
bold that they just get near people's houses and wait until someone feeds them a dog, for example. We're not kidding. Hungry crocodiles can...
Did that just really happen? Hang on, guys.
Crocodiles can even get into houses if people don't lock their doors. And you probably won't have the chance to swim in Australian waters because there are even
Oh my god!
more reptiles there.
Boom!
So decide for yourself if you really want to go to this country.
Definitely go to this country. Australia is the best country ever. No wars. Nature's full. Views are perfect.
Parenti.
The fuck is Parenti? That looks like a fucking goanna.
Finally, we want to warn you. Forget
Definitely goanna.
about normal-sized animals. Australia is the home to these giant lizards known as parentis. Just their appearance makes you feel scared and run away as far as possible. Nevertheless, they're not that dangerous to humans. In spite of their strong 5-foot-long body, parentis don't attack people. They usually try to hide first, but if the animal feels danger, it immediately attacks, and in this case it will end badly for the victim. Not only their huge body, but also the parentis' teeth are really dangerous because there are a lot of bad bacteria and microorganisms on them, and the older the animal is, the worse the consequences are. Of course, you might want to take a close
I thought it was younger.
look at this beautiful lizard, but zoologists recommend not coming too close to it. It's still a wild predator. And besides, don't forget, it's from Australia.
Well, that's mean.
Now, tell us, friends, have you ever been to this country?
Yes, I live in it.
Share your experience in the comments, but don't forget to give us a like because we really want some.
Sure you want likes, but you're gonna get down thumbs because that's really insulting to Australians, especially to our natives. I'll be super pissed at these people.
Guys, it's time to recharge your brain. Visit the channel Brain Time. There you'll find a lot of interesting and useful facts, lots of positive energy and tons of useful information. Subscribe right now. We promise it's going to be really exciting. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video.
No. Which is bigger, 6.5k or 44k? Because that's a horrible video. Well guys, that's it. I'm leaving a dislike. That's horrible. Like literally horrible. Horrible video. Horrible. Very insulting. So I will leave a link to this video here.
Crocodiles
And so yeah, this is bullshit.
can even get into houses if people don't lock their doors.
Crocodiles don't get into
Probably
houses.
won't have the
Right guys, well, thank you very much for watching this video. If you do like this, leave a thumbs up, leave a like, and yeah, And guys, I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye. Okay, it doesn't work. Bye.